Take.
Okay.
All right. Ani saja sedih kayaknya. Anyway. Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Can people online hear me? Hello. Hello. See, I look like the alien guy without the glasses. Alien. Yay, can hear. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. It looks like since I'm using the mic from my computer, I can't move around so much. Actually, I like to move here and there, but it's okay lah. All right. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's session. What's today's session again? Pursuing a career in game development here in Brunei. So it means that if you're planning to do your game career somewhere else, then you might need to go join another class regarding that particular country. But if in Brunei, you're in the right class. Okay, so without further ado, let's start the session. So basically, again, a lot of people would say game developers are like magicians. Why? Just like my friend here saying that code goes in, game comes out. Aliens. Okay, so basically, when you are doing game development, in a way, you have a superpower where you can, make people be interested in what you are doing. And at the same time, you can share your emotions through your games with your players. All right. So now, pursuing a career in game development here in Brunei. So I am Izzuddin from Pixelated. I founded Pixelated since 2015 actually, but we started operation in 2017. So let me just reintroduce myself again. So Pixelated is established in 2017. That's when we started our operation. We have released quite a number of video games already. Okay, not bad so far. Okay, so yeah. So basically, being an indie, welcome. Have a seat. Have a seat. So basically, one thing about game indie studios, I started alone. So basically, yeah, this is me back then in the early days, introducing myself to other people as the CEO of Indie Game Studio with one employee, myself. So for those who are interested to be a game developer, this is how you will be. Going around, meeting people, say, hey, hi, I'm the owner of this studio. I'm the CEO. I am also the developer. I'm also the janitor, the plumbing guy, the cleaning guy, and everything, and so on. It's okay. The more water, the merrier. I don't know whose water is that, but more water. All right. Okay. So for those who have interest in being a game developer, this is you in the future. Okay. It doesn't mean for ladies you have to be a guy. Just imagine, just change your picture there. Okay. All right. So, hey, what happened? Hey. Oh. Did I think I missed some slides. Oh no. Okay. Okay, sorry. All right, so again, let me just share again. Pixelated started in 2011. Okay, that's when the journey starts. It started as an idea. Okay, so I personally joined. I'm not so sure. All of you look so young. Feel so old. But Matt Damon gave the thing to old thing. Okay, anyway, so 2011, that's where I started to join the Think Big Ignite competition by iCenter. I joined it for 5 years consecutively. So that's where the journey begins. So ideation, hard work, or whatever work you like to call that. And then after that, 2015 is the registration of Pixelated Enterprise. So I own that name now. So you guys can't use that. Please use other name for your gaming company, okay? And at the same time, 2015, that was my first time attending Tokyo Game Show. It was sponsored by ASEAN Japan AJC committee. Okay, so it was very interesting where I learned more about games and everything. See a lot of people. I even had the opportunity to talk to quite a number of senior people from Sega, Square Enix, and a few other games as well. We even had a lengthy discussion with Sega senior advisor / consultant. He used to be CEO of Sega as well. So it was a very interesting 30-minute to almost 1 hour discussion with him. It was really, like, I know in his head he'll just say like, young people. So anyway. Yeah. All right, now and then 2017, that's when we started. Okay, we released 2 games immediately after. So I'm not so sure if any of you have played it or heard it before. Ran Kitiran and Gyro Gasing. Someone is smiling because he's involved in the development back then. Okay, and then in 2018, we released our first horror game, AR horror game, The Uninvitees. And then 2019 was Last Note. It's a 3D puzzle game. And then 2020, our release of Nasi Katok Please. This is our biggest download games. So we had about 10,000 downloads on both iOS and Android. So later on, I'll share with you guys some surprises and announcement. Yeah, announcements. It feels like like GameCon or something like that. Okay. And then 2021, our first MMO, Duraka, was released. And then 2023, this year, just few more days left before the end of 2023, we are planning to release one more game, hopefully. On which platform, I'll announce it later on. And of course, in 2024, will be the release of Nasi Katok Please 2. So I'm sure for those who have followed our IG, might have seen the announcement there. Okay, so basically this is just a rough timeline of our progression as Pixelated as a company. Okay, so why is it important? So that you guys will know what's going on. So now, before we really understand the game, so now you've known how Pixelated journey is. Now let's understand the gaming industry overview. So if you look here, gaming industry is very huge. It's not just developing games. Okay, so if you look from, let's start with from the left hand side, your right hand side there. So game developers. So as you can see, game developers, we have indie and AAA games. So those are the companies who actually create your games, develop your favorite games and everything, release it on different platforms, whether it's iOS, Android, computer, consoles, Xbox, PS4, PS5, or even Switch. Then we have game publishers. Okay, for game developers, we do have some here in Brunei. Okay, game publishers, we do not have. We do not have any game publishers in Brunei. So game publishers are the one who bring those games from the developer to the rest of the world. Then, after a few years, developers, publishers, and everything and whatnot, then we also have software developers. So again, I think I've talked with some of you here. You are taking courses in software development. So what does software development, how does software developers relate to the game industry? They create tools for developers to use. What kind of tools? For example, the Discord, OpenAI, Unity is a software. Okay, and Game Engine is a software. So that is how, if you think that you're not talented in game development, you can create software that can help game development. Then, after so many years, we can see the rise of esports. Okay, I think currently we do also have like some competition here locally, but of course, internationally, there's a lot of competition and everything. Can anyone give me an example of a very big competition going on? Evoke, yes. But for me, my favorite is TI. Okay, so again, that's where you can see the journey. Start from creating a game, being published, working with other companies to help enhance it, and then you can start with esports. Then with esports, can give birth to game arenas where people can compete. I think currently now there's an event in Peak Performance, the Hobby Fest or Hobby Dev. So they too are doing some gaming events there. Okay, see, that's how this kind of gaming industry are related to each other. Of course, then we have hardware developers. Again, we do not have hardware developers here. Okay, hardware developers very simple. You created your mouse, computer, your keyboard, speakers, headsets. Those are hardware developers. Even you can consider as tables and chairs are hardware developers. Why? Nowadays gamers, you don't want to use the plastic blue chair anymore, right? You always wanted to go for the fancy chair with the headrest. If you like pink, you definitely want your chair to be pink and so on. If guys all black, matte, Batman and everything. So yeah, although it's not related exactly immediately to hardware, but you can see that. So and then of course you have streaming services and distribution retailers. So as you can see, gaming industry is very huge. There's so many things related to it. But we are not going to focus that. we're just going to focus on game development. I'm sure some of you might ask me, why do Pixelated decided to go into game development? I'm sure you've been here since morning. This morning it was from, who was the one speaking just now before me? 3G Media. What are they doing? Software in a way, yes, they do payment gateway and other services as well. But why are they not in gaming development? Not much money. Okay. Maybe, but the thing is, game development is quite difficult. I will explain that later on. But before we go for the sad part, let's see on the bright side first. Something happened? So here, game publisher. I only made billions this year. Game studio, billions. I barely made millions. Professional developer, millions. I count in thousands. Indie game dev, you guys can buy food. So yes, that's the sad thing being indie developer. We are at the bottom tier of the food chain. So that's the reason why, as I mentioned earlier, so we need to work with publisher for them to publish. Then we need to work with esports to get more recognitions. Work with game arenas so that to generate interest and so on. Okay. So yes, this is actually true. So basically, game publisher make the most money from any games they created. That's why the biggest company nowadays, they are also publishing themselves. For example, like EA, Microsoft. All right. So they are. So that's why they make billions, while game studios just make millions. So if game studios can only make millions, that's why if they can't cover their cost, I'm sure for those who are actively following the game industry, quite a number of layoffs have happened. Quite a number of gaming studio has also closed down. Okay, and of course indie, you don't have to say lah. Indie is like macam biscuit, setiap ada, setiap nada. It keeps on changing as well. So now, this is the truth. Why we would like to do game development. The opportunity is very big, but at the same time, the competition is also big. Okay, just because of this data does not mean you should rely on this data alone. There are so many factors that generate this conclusion. But you can say that, I'm sorry, PC master race, you guys are not actually the master race. Mobile is actually the real master race. Because as you can see, mobile dominates almost half of the gaming market by generating 90 billion revenue in 2023. In fact, console makes more than PC. Okay, with 52 billion, while PC only generated about 40 billion. Okay, so this data comes from Newzoo. Newzoo specializes in this kind of data. So you can say these data are quite valid, or very valid. Okay, so the reason now, again, why we go for game development, you can see as a whole, it's almost $200 billion industry. If we compare that to Brunei punya GDP, anyone knows how much Brunei GDP is? No? Okay, someone is Googling it. I'll wait for him to finish Googling. Mana saja?
In 2021, GDP was 14 billion.
Berapa?
14 billion.
14, 14 billion. Compared to that, how many times more? So it means that I'm not trying to be optimistic. I'm just being realistic. Even though we managed, just imagine if you're able to capture 1%. 1% of 184 billion. How much is that? It's 18 billion. Basically, that's more than the GDP of Brunei. But of course, realistically, 1% is almost impossible if you're not a AAA company. Then we lower it down. For example, 0.001%. How much is 0.001%? It's in the millions. And imagine, if you do earn millions, how well will you be able to improve your organization, hire more people to create more better games? Okay? So that's my optimistic side, to capture at least 0.0001% of this market. Now, We all know once you start a company, you are an indie. You do not become a triple A overnight unless you are being sponsored, being invested by huge companies. Some of the few companies that are investing, for example, like Microsoft, Tencent, and so on. Okay, so now the difference between indie and game and AAA. So, for example, like Pixelated ourselves, we are an indie company. So, team size below 50 employees. For AAA, hundreds to thousands. Project size, smaller scale projects. Project size, large scales with extensive resources. That's why if you can see, if anyone is following the Game Awards, can anyone mention me name of a few of the games that being mentioned in the Game Awards? Resident Evil again? Final Fantasy, Zelda, Baldur's Gate. Those are AAA companies. They have a lot of resources, they have a lot of money, so they are able to do so. But then again, there's also a section for indie. Okay, to celebrate the genius of indie. So later on again, I will cover how impactful indie can be in the gaming scene. You might never know. You might actually create that 1 of a million game. Okay, and then of course you can see there's so many comparison again between indie and AAA. So basically for us as an indie, we have to be very resourceful with the limited amount of resources and technology that we have compared to AAA. So that means that we cannot immediately compare or compete with AAA companies. Okay. Now, you want to be a game dev. Anyone here wants to be a game dev? Okay, there's one. This one, two. Okay, pointed. Three. All right. So, game developer. What my friend thinks I do, having fun, party all day long, and everything. Which kind of makes sense. That's what a lot of people think. What my mom thinks I do, yep, playing game all day long. Obviously, that's what most moms always do. Okay, what society thinks I do? Yes, I have the money. But do we? No. What my client thinks I do? Being an idiot, unable to understand what are they talking about. What I think I do? We are superheroes. We're able to do so many things with the click of a button. But what I really do is basically staring at the computer, screaming at it into the long night of the hours. So there's so many things actually that if you are interested to become a game dev. So there are so many breakdowns, branches and everything and so on. So that's where you have to actually learn that by yourself. Of course, by discussing with others will definitely help as well. Okay. So now, let's have a look if you are again interested in creating a game company. By default, this is the standard gaming company team. So you have project director, manager or producer. Then you have the manager level on top. Below the manager level, you have the senior or the lead. Below that you have the seasoned programmers, designer, artists, and animators. And then at the bottom there, you have your juniors, those people who recently joined into the organization. So for us in Brunei, we have a lot of manpower, but those manpower are very limited to the junior level. Not so many of us here, even myself, I will not consider myself as a senior position. Because again, as an indie, we keep on learning every day. Okay, and then of course, those are the one directly managing the team. Then of course, you also have your QA, quality assurance, where you need to test your games, testings and everything and all. Then you have your middleware programmers to connect with the APIs. If your game is on cloud, you need someone to know about the cloud, audio team, sound effect, graphic, sound effects, background musics and everything. Then you also have your outsourcing if you do not have those people within your team. So this is the standard core team of a game development. But for us, you are everything. You are the game designer, you are the PR, you're the accountant, you're the QA, you're the 3D, you're the sound optimizer, and so on. And of course, at the bottom part there, you are also the CEO. If you manage to find a partner, then maybe you can split some of it with your partners. If not, this is the role as a solo indie developer that you will have to bear. So now, you want to create your own indie studio. So again, how many of you wanted to create your own indie studio again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I thought it was 6, 7. Okay, that's good. Okay, how about, how do I check? Is that okay. I have no idea why is it that. Anyway. Okay, that goes my manliness, I guess. So now, for those who are interested to create your own gaming studio, this is the flow chart that you will definitely need to ask yourself. Let's have a look. So you want to start your own indie game studio. The first thing you need to ask yourself, do you already have the technical skills? No. So it means that if it's no, doesn't mean that you have to say, okay, bye, I guess. No, you don't have to say that. So it means that before you start to embark on your journey, you need to spend the next 3 to 12 months mastering the most important skills for your vertical. Okay. What are the skills? The basic one is programming and mastering the tools that you wish to use. Okay. Have you worked personally in games before? Again, no. Founders with prior industry experience are more likely to succeed to 100%. So this is where, although it's quite difficult, this is where usually you find a company to intern with, especially related to game development. So if you're able to find any gaming company, try to do internship, work attachment, work placement program with them, so that you can learn from their mistakes, learn from their strength, then use it as your own knowledge and experience. Okay, and then next, this is a very crucial question. Do you already have a trusted team? If you remember, when did Pixelated was established? When did the journey start for Pixelated? 2011. When did we start our operation? 2017. What took us so long? Finding people, exactly. To find the right people for the company. So again, if you look at, no, find and test core members until you feel confident you have the composition you need. So it means that when you are developing your team, you need to actually test. Again, if you remember the journey of Pixelated, 2017, we released 2 games. The next year, we released another game, and so on. Why? It is all to test the capability of your core team. Are we ready to handle a bigger project or not? So that's why for indies, you have to start quite quickly, to do the tests frequently. From there, you can understand the strength of the team. So basically, once you work as a team, then you'll be able to tackle all those more difficult problems and so on. Okay. So of course, for example, if you are finding trouble, okay, go to events like this. Find people with the same like-mindedness. Okay. Cold call, pull people online, strike up conversation, join communities, do participate in game jams. So I do believe Brunei Game Dev does do quite a number of game jam. Join, participate, find people. Okay. Check out when's the next Google Dev event. Then you can find more people there. So it's a very good opportunity to actually find, create, and learn to prepare yourself once you want to embark on your game dev journey. So of course, there are so many things that you need to actually. This flowchart is very useful if you have those doubts. What you want to do, what's the best things you need to do. Okay. So if you want me to share this, reach out to me. I'll be happy to share this flowchart with you so that you can check where are you in the flowchart. Are you ready? Congrats, you have an indie game studio. On to the next game. Or no worries, try again. Honestly, for me, for Pixelated, we are currently in this green. No worries, try again. Why? We have not found a publisher. So what happened? We publish our own. Okay. So now, let's be honest. If, again, you wish to embark on the soulless, lifeless journey as a game dev, this is what will happen to you. Say goodbye to family, say goodbye to social life, and definitely say goodbye to sleep. Because the moment you talk about game dev, that's the only thing that you will talk about. Trust me, I'm in a group of game dev people, that's the only thing that we talk about. Okay? Majority of the time, 90%. So now, the two doors of game development, especially if you're in Brunei. Okay, this is based on my experience, based on what I have gone through, what I have seen, and definitely it applies to all of you as well if you are thinking in embarking game dev here in Brunei. So as an indie, you only have two possibilities here in Brunei: to have a good start or a difficult start. So if a good start, if you yourself currently have no responsibility. What do I mean by having no responsibility? You are not married, you don't have kids. Girlfriend, boyfriend, not so much as a responsibility. Why? You can always find another one. No, just kidding, just kidding. No lah. But what I'm trying to say, the commitment is not full time. There is a responsibility, there's a commitment, but not a responsibility. Why? You don't really have to actually care if they have eaten or not. You only ask that question when you are going out together. Babe, have you eaten? Not yet, babe. See, like when you are married, you have to do it over the phone. You already makan kah? Belum. What do you want? See, that kind of responsibility. So different responsibility. So again, a good start is when you have no responsibility. You are still living with your parents. So living with parents, it means that you do not have to worry about thinking where are you going to sleep tonight. Okay, and financial freedom, where you do not have any loans or financing or anything that can burden or pull you back down. So the advantage goes back to living with parents. So it means that you do not have to worry about finding food. So it means that when you're doing your work, when you're hungry, you just go down and yell, "Ma, lapar!" Then your mother will say, "Okay, what do you want?" Yeah, so then they cook. But when you're living alone, it will become unhealthy. So that's again another problem. Okay, so that if you have those three, you have a good start as a game indie. So it means that you're able to commit most of your time in developing your games. Even if you have work or not, depending on what type of work, but if you still have those three above, it'll be easier for you to develop your games. The difficult level or expert mode, some people say. You are working, and that working consumes most of your time. Like some people they work 9 to 5, alhamdulillah. Some people work 9 to 9. How can you commit when most of your time has already finished because of working? You'll be super exhausted by the time you're home. And then again, if you're in a certain position where you are being on call or on standby and everything, again, that can disrupt your momentum. I'm not trying to say it's impossible. It is possible. But it's a difficult level to balance. So you have to balance your work, you have to balance your game indie, you also have to balance your family life. Being Asian, that's one of the disadvantages. We are very close to family. Every Sunday, let's go out, picnic. Let's go out, makan. Uh, that's, but still, it's good. At least you don't have to worry about food. You'll be always full. Married with kids, again, the hardest level. If you have an understanding partner, Alhamdulillah. But your kids will never be understanding, especially when you have little ones. The moment when you want to start creating your game, then your child, your daughter, your son will come, oh, Baba, I want to help. What do you want to help? You don't even know how to code. See, so what happened? Instead of helping, it becomes not helping. Okay? So again, the difficult start. And then, of course, the final one is financial responsibility. You have to pay for your house, you have to pay for your car. Again, for game development, you will definitely need to fork out your money. Why? To buy some services. Nowhere you can have your own personal server. Are you willing to buy your own server to develop your game? Do you know how much does a server cost? A basic server will cost you about 4 to 8,000. That is just the server. To maintain it, to buy the operating system, you need to have a dedicated lease line and everything. It will burn up your finance quick. So again, for those who are in the session, in this room and online, if you are in the good start, it's a good time for you to start. But if you have already terlajak, accidentally on the difficult side, don't give hope. Don't lose hope. You still can do it. Don't give. Don't lose hope. Okay. Don't. I think I need water. Let me drink some water for all. I think that's the problem when you don't have enough water, so that happens. So it means that don't lose hope. You still can do it, but you're playing the game in expert level, just like me. All right. So again, you got this. Now let's make some video games. So there is hope actually. So I'm going to share some case study. Okay. Has anyone heard of Stardew Valley? Yes. A very big game, massive game. People are waiting for the second version of it now. But did you know it was done over the period of 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, by a single person. First time developer. He started when he was 28 years old. Or I think he finished it by 28. See, you still have hope. First time developer managed to create one of the biggest indie hit in the world, Stardew Valley. There is still hope. Next, a Singaporean guy created a game, Eat Satay, Fight Pontianak. Wow, that's definitely the Malay way to go. All right, so as you can see, then his inspiration from Diablo 2, he created this game for 5 years. So he is a 35-year-old freelancer game development. Spent 5 years of his free time to create this game. And he managed to earn 250K a week after its first release. So there is still hope. So for you who are still interested in doing so, there is still hope. So it means that if you want to embark on this journey, take your time, learn the craft properly. Okay, regardless where you are in life, it is doable. Although by living in Brunei, you're actually living in a more difficult mode. Why? Because there's so many infrastructure not ready to support us in the game development. A bit of marketing. As I mentioned, okay, so Pixelated will be releasing 2 of its new game very, very soon, hopefully, inshallah. So we have Nasi Katok Please 2 as well as Rio. So Nasi Katok Please 2 will be a mobile game, an online game, while Rio is an online and offline game where you can play with your friends on PC. Okay, so for Rio, it might be released on Steam, might not be released on Steam. So that one, we're still working on it. And then Rio is VR capable. So for those who have VR, you'll definitely have fun playing it. And then soon we will have a Discord channel. Okay, I like to emphasize on this one. We will be making a public Discord server. So for those who wish to learn more and everything, feel free to join. Follow our IG for more news. So we will share anything, everything via our IG. Of course, if you need guidance, mentorship, or anything. And for those who are still studying, looking for a place for internship, give versus lose, berry versus hilang. Not so sure. Anyway, so you can always contact us. So we do provide internship for those who are interested as well. Okay, so this is how you can contact us. We have a WhatsApp number, we have an email, and our IG. So again, please do follow us if you guys need further mentorship regarding how to start the games here in Brunei. All right, so with that, that's the end of the session. Okay. Now, I will open it for Q&A. So anyone, if there's any questions and everything, please raise your hands and everything before we go for the Memomoti session. Okay, so any question, anything? Yes, sir.
You talked about server costs,
Yes.
maintenance, or things like that, being very expensive. What are the options of like services like AWS and we have Amazon Game Lift, 125 hours on demand per usage a month on the free tier, which I think the free tier is 1 year. What's the requirements or possibilities of using things like that?
That's a good question. Okay, so yes, as I mentioned earlier on, game server is very, to create your own dedicated on-premise server is very expensive because you need to emphasize on your security, hardening and everything, physical location, cooling system and everything and whatnot. So it can cost you thousands and thousands monthly just to maintain it. So basically the solution is definitely going for cloud. As Tim mentioned, for cloud solution, for example, like AWS has a game lift and everything and whatnot. Personally, we have actually tried using AWS. It's quite difficult. The reason why, especially as you mentioned, you are using the free tier for I'm not bashing AWS, no. AWS is good, but somehow it's not as friendly for indies. Why? Is because that if you wish to have support, you need to subscribe to a technical support. If not, your reliance will definitely be on forums, Googling to find your solution, how to actually make your game lift servers to be working. For me personally, as a Pixelated as well, we are using Microsoft Azure. So far, we are happy with Azure. The reason why, yes, once you subscribe to Azure, you have to pay certain things, but the technical support is inclusive, which for us, I think is the quite important one because you don't have to pay. But recently, again, a bit of a minus point, a bit sharing on our infrastructure as well, because we are using Azure, we are also using PlayFab for certain functions. PlayFab is free. However, for technical support, you need to subscribe. So again, that is also a challenge. However, the forum is very responsive. We posted an issue, we got an answer, we got a reply within 1 day after. So the responsive was very good. So again, it depends on yourself. So if you do prefer AWS, by all means go for AWS. For me personally, I do prefer Microsoft because I do enjoy the support that they provide. Okay, I hope that answers your questions, Tim. All right.
Maybe adding on to that, like, what are the typical requirements for hosting your own kind of server? What if something just starting out? Is something like a $5 DigitalOcean job that's sufficient or something like that, or what's
okay.
Possibilities of people starting out?
Okay, so that's a very good question again. Okay, so for those who are interested in developing games, so again, my question back to you is that are you creating an online game or an offline game? So if you're creating an offline game, so it means that you don't have to worry about all the servers and everything. You can just create one game, release it on Steam. That's it. Watch it grow, watch it sing, watch it, whatever happens to it magically. But if you need to embed some online functionality, okay, so yes, there are certain functionality that's actually inclusive. So it means that as long as you subscribe to it, it is for free. So again, it's quite difficult to gauge, but at the same time, it's still easy to gauge because there's a lot of services where it costs $0. For example, like PlayFab, you can still use PlayFab to a certain extent with $0. Even for using Unity, you can use it for free until a certain amount for $0. Even you're using, for example, again, multiplayer services like Photon, it is free up to certain concurrent users. So as long as you're not breaking that threshold, then you should be fine. But of course, that is something that you definitely need to keep in mind when you are expanding, adding more features, adding more functions and everything and so on. Okay, does that answer your question, Tim? Thank you so much. Then we have an online question. Thank you so much. So from Chen Yang Ang. So know how tough is surviving. What keeps you going? Okay, thank you. That's I would say that's a very interesting question. So yes, game development here in Brunei is very tough. We've been doing it since 2017. One of the ray of hope that helped us was the iReady. So we were able to create like a good business plan, submit it to iReady for them to assist us in getting the manpower. But of course, now the iReady requirements keep on changing. So again, the level of difficulty increases back. So to keep us going is very simple. So it's more on a self-motivation level because I'm sure I can see most of you youngsters here and everything. I'm sure most of you are still studying. The problem is that once you finish study, where will you go? So basically for me, I find it like a personal ambition to actually help all of you, to give you an opportunity once you finish school. There is at least somewhere something that you can do after you graduate. So for me, it's either whether I can create job opportunities or I can help you to create your own businesses. So I hope that answers your question, Tian Ying Ang. Sorry. And then your second question is, how do you balance maintaining and improving your existing games while at the same time creating a new game, especially when you're doing it all solo? Okay, so the good thing for me, I was not doing it all solo. Okay, the good thing, but I can translate it to how to do it solo. So again, if you are doing solo, or basically if you look at the pixelated timeline, I'm just going to go back all the way to the timeline. Why I'm showing the timeline? Okay, so timeline, oops. Hey. Okay, should be okay now. Okay, so how to balance it? It's very simple. Let me explain one by one. Okay, so if you look from 2017, what did I do? Is basically, as I mentioned, we tried to develop the skill of the team. So when we did Run Kitty Run and Gyro Gasing, those two things that pops into my mind, we need to create something to show that we can create a game, regardless how basic or simple it is. So when we created Run Kitty Run, it was a very basic endless running game. So it means that if you're able to develop that kind of game, it means that you are ready for the next step. So what is the next step? Is Gyro Gasing. Gyro Gasing is a game where it utilizes your accelerometer or gyrometer in your phone. You know where the game when you have to tilt your phone here and there and you have to move it? So that is it. So it means that every game that you create, it is like a milestone for something bigger. And then it's a bit sad. Why? It means that the moment we finish Run Kitty Run, that's it. We finish, release, we forget. We are not going to improve that game. So it means that if we want to improve that game, that's where we go to Nasi Katok Please. We can see that there was a huge download for Nasi Katok Please. 10,000 download, Alhamdulillah, that's quite big for a Bruneian game company. So what we do, we're not going to improve it. We're going to make a second version of it. So that is how, if you want to balance it. So it means that you're creating a new game, but at the same time, you are franchising your game. I hope that clarifies, Chian Yang Ang. So if you need more further clarification, please do text in the question panel. So I hope it answers it. So any other questions anywhere from online or from offline here? Ada? Still shy? Don't make me sing super shy, but yes. Yeah. Very good question. Thank you so much for bringing it up. So I agree. Okay, so again, Back to si Chian yang ang punya question. So yes, game developer in Brunei is very difficult. Honestly, I will say we have not created any revenue from the games that we have released. It's because of, as I mentioned, we have issues in certain technologies or platforms up and everything. So basically, to keep the company afloat, I'm sorry to say, I forgot to mention it. Never make your game development as your first job. So it means that you need to have a primary job to support your second job. For me, that's the sad truth. The reason why, because you need to buy all the services up and everything and so on. So it means that to be sustainable, so it means that you have to have a first job or you have to have a different business that you can use to sustain. Or what you can do is you create your organization to be diversifying unique. Why do I say that? For example, like Pixelated, yes, we have game developers, we have programmers, we have developers, we have. So what we do, we diversify our skill set a bit. Like myself, I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. So to keep us afloat, to keep us operational, I do training. That's how you have to generate money. So it means that you cannot rely until the point that you are able to make money in game development. You need to have something else to support it. Okay. So whether it's, for example, you create you do a web developer service car, or you do consultant service car, or you do whatever it needs, just to make sure you're able to sustain yourself. Especially when you have a team, then it means your pot will be bigger. So it means you have to work harder to actually sustain everyone else together at the same time. So yeah, so for me, I can say that it will be very difficult. So it means that you need to have multiple cash flow to sustain yourself. I hope that answers your question. So by all means, so if you think if you by opening a nasi katok stall will help you on the long run, do it. Honestly, I'm so close in doing that as well. Any other questions, online or offline? Yes, sir. I ready? For now we don't pay for now. But okay, that's a good question. So honestly, so we do provide an internship. However, our internship is very unique. We're not like your other organization. So for us, how we compensate for not being able to pay you guys, we provide other flexibility. For example, you can wear whatever you want to the office as long as it's proper. I don't mind if you're wearing slippers, honestly, because you're not meeting client. The only person that you'll meet is me and the rest of the team. And at the same time, we only work 4 days a week. We work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. 4 days a week, 9 to 4:30. And then we have quite long lunch break, about 2 hours. And then you have the option to work from home or work from office. And then honestly, personally again, if you have like personal issues and everything and whatnot, for example, let's just say your brother is sick, you need to send him to hospital or everything, go on. You don't have to write me a letter, you don't have to look, as long as you tell me where you're going, go. That's it. So I make it as flexible and very give and take lah. So that's the perks that usually I give it to the students. So for example, like some of the students say, sorry sir, sorry boss, I can't come in because we have transport issue. Fine, work from home. That's it. So for me, what I do is every week there will be a KPI meeting. So I would like to see whether you hit your target or not. Of course, if you don't hit your target, I'm not going to scold you. I will just ask you, what happened? Okay, that's fine. We'll extend your deadline, something like that. If you need help, tell. I'll assign some senior team to guide you, like that. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. You have passion, you don't have skills. Good question. Very good question. Honestly, I love that question. Why? Very simple. I hire people based on their attitude. I don't I I don't care if they are the best programmer. If they don't have the right attitude, I will not take them in. So basically, for you having passion, I salute you. It means that you are a very good candidate for my organization. Because why? Having skill is not, it's meaningless if you're not able to work as a team. For example, if you are a programmer, you know how to program, but you do not know how to create asset. So how are you going to communicate with the rest of your team saying that, I need a tool. What do you need? I need character. What character do you need? See, that's the thing. So for me, passion, attitude is more important. Why? Skills you can learn later on. So basically, if you do need help on the skill part, we will help guide you. We will give you, for me, what I do is, for example, this is what usually I do. I will give them a project. If you need help, tell me. If you need resources, I'll share you my Udemy punya account. Learn from Udemy. If you want to YouTube, go YouTube, by all means. So it means that I don't scold people when they are watching YouTube at the office, especially when they're learning. Yes, any question that you want to add up? Okay, so again, for that one, usually I will ask you a few questions. Which path are you keen on? Are you keen on programmer? Are you keen on the 2D graphic side, 3D graphic side, or something else? So for example, if you're keen on programmer, I'll pair you up with a programmer. So of course, you will start by yourself. You have question, you ask them. They are very friendly, they will definitely help you. So jadinya, my approach is, although it's a supportive way, but it's not spoon feeding. So it means that you too need to learn it by yourself. That's the reason why I pick skills. I pick attitude over skills, because with the right attitude, you are willing to push yourself. Does that answer your question? Boleh. But of course, don't worry. So there's always other ways we also can guide. For example, like we have some very good 2D artists and everything. Don't worry, they will be very supportive in guiding you. Like, this is what you need to do and everything. So even though it's your first time, don't worry. We will help you to grow your talent. No problem. Your system question, your question. Yeah. Okay, so okay, so for graphic, usually I will refer to my team, what they are using. So some of them are using pen tool size, some are using Procreate, some are using directly Photoshop. So again, the tools is all up to you. What you are comfortable, familiar, doesn't matter. But of course, if you wish to learn another tool, we will help you on that one. Okay, any other question? Yes, sir.
Basic IT skills.
Basic IT skills. What's wrong with basic IT skills? What do I need? As long as you know how to switch on your computer, I think that's all that I need. As long as you know how to switch on your computer, work your mouse, type on the keyboard, that's good enough. No, again, because the reason why, if you look at here, as I mentioned, most of the Bruneians in here, we are at junior level. Okay, usually before you are able to go one tier up, the programmer, design artist, you will take years. Some of my teams are that level. Okay, but to go to senior, that takes a longer time. So it means that it's understandable. So because certification is something that you earn on the job. Of course, it's best to get it before getting the job. But the thing is, again, in Bruneian market, this is something still new. So basically, it's very impossible to find someone with had the certification awal-awal, unless they join like a certain course up and everything. Okay? Yes.
So you can take exams
before okay, again, like for example, like myself, I am a certified intermediate Autodesk Maya artist. So basically, that is because I participate. There was a course beforehand. So jadinya, if you do have that kind of certification, that's a good head start. So it means that it shows that you are capable of doing so. But if you do not have, don't worry. Even like most of my team, so far I have not certified them, but slowly we are thinking of certifying them. Any other questions? Oh, another no questions from the online as well. Ada? Yes. The process, okay. So basically, the first process is to be part of the Steam workshop punya community, prepare whatever the requirement the Steam wants, and then of course, you have to plan. For example, definitely marketing. You need to be either active on the social media or you have to do the TikTok or whatsoever, something like that. But yeah, so those are something that you have to think of. So for example, macam again, like nasi katok, please. So if you were to publish it at the iOS or mobile, so Android. So basically for Android, they are so in iOS they have the opportunity where you have to fill in certain forms and everything for that game to be to be featured at app of the day. So those are the things that you have to plan. So jadi the closer you are on the publishing date, so those are the things that you have to think of and everything. Steam, yes, there's a 100 USD per game cost. Yeah. No, like USD it's about 150. US currency is 1.34 from second. So yes. No, for every single game. But if you want to release ada iOS sama Android you have to be a Google developer license. So that is about, during my time was 35 USD lifetime. But I heard it's getting cheaper now. I'm not so sure. For Apple, you have to pay 99 USD per year to be a licensed Apple developer or publisher. Apa? That's why for me, I'm not using the punya stream to do the in-app, so I'm using the separate way. Thank you to Epic versus Apple punya issue. Any other questions? Online people, are you okay? Can you guys hear me? I need to find a socket. Dulu sekejap, I think my battery is gonna die soon. Any question? Anything? Ada? No more questions? Okay, so if no more question, will it works? I'm using an old MacBook, a very old MacBook, so that's why the battery doesn't last long. Usually MacBook can last until the end of the day. Okay, anyway, so no more question? Nada? All right, so if there's no more question, then we'll start with who's that handsome guy? I don't know. Do you guys know him? No. Very handsome guy. Okay, anyway, okay, Anna, let me look for my. All right, so. Salah. Kejap, nanti ya. One second. Do not panic. I am panicking. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me share my screen again. Okay. Can everyone see my screen? You're welcome, Chian Yang Ang. Okay, so online, can you see my screen? Okay. All right, I can see there's 1 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up. Okay, give me more thumbs up. Come on, everybody, you can do it. All right. So let's. Oops. Oh! What the? Hey, what happened? Oh no! Oh no! Okay, I need to restart it. Oh, what happened? What happened? Oh no! Alah, spoil.
Tukang sumo artinya ada masalah.
Yes. I think ada masalah because I was. Shit. No. It's okay. I think I know what to do now. Okay, I have to go back here. Yeah, I need to go here. Okay. All right. Sorry, everyone. I hopefully think this time is okay. Right. Okay. Let me just click next. Okay, so this one is better. Okay, so this one should be okay. Let me just share again. Thank you. Okay, all right. Okay, this time should be okay. Let's do this. Come on, everybody. I was testing yet. I forgot to reset.
Nama pemenang berat.
Number telepon ganda, I think assume. Yes, okay. Sorry, I've done this a lot, but I've never participated. All right, so any more people? Okay, I'm just gonna give it 1 more minute before we start the question. So you can just come on, everyone, come on, let's stand up, let's stretch. We've been sitting for 1 hour. It's not good for your back. For an indie developer, you need to stretch. Come on, everyone, stand up in the classroom. Come on, stand up. Stretch your hand up. Stretch your hand down. Stretch it up again. Stretch it down again. And okay, all done. Can push your body if you want. Okay. That feels better. Lambat. Yeah, once in a lifetime though. Okay. So we'll start the quiz. Ready? Everyone ready? Here we go. Waiting for players. We have 18 players already. 17. What happened? We lost 1. 7. Okay. Welcome back, watermelon. Okay, we have flower coming in. All right. 17. What happened? Exactly. People leaving and going out. What was going on? Okay, 19. Okay. Hey. Wait. Well, what's going on? Oh, you're changing your display picture, ka? I think so. Everyone's like changing. Like, what? Nah, hilang. Nah, ya Rabbi, habis. Stop changing your. Okay, so again, this is kind of problem that you will face when you're developing your game. You need to troubleshoot your app. Okay, fine. I'm gonna count to 5. Whoever yang ada. Indah. Okay, so ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, masih lagi. Alright, okay, ready. 5, 4. Stop going out and in, people. Okay, final call. Ready, 5, 4. I'm not gonna see any more. 3, 2, 1, go. You guys should know the answer. I think aku sengaja kan bilang tu. I know I definitely thought people will think of the journey too. Alright, congrats to people get it correct. Okay, move to the next slide. All right. Okay, 18. Ready? Nah. Pedulilah, nah, okay lah. Salingan. Everyone has voted, and the answer is, yay! Why siapa tu buat triple A games tu? Basar cita-citanya. No. Whoever answered triple A, please teach me how the heck you become triple A. I need to know the secret. I'm literally an indie struggling here. Okay. Okay. All right. Next question. Are you ready? Okay, go. Oh, did you remember the name? Oh, nice. Okay, who picked Eric Cantona must definitely a Manchester United fan. Oh, I'm not a Manchester United fan. That's why they picked Eric Cantona. All right. Okay, question 4 of 4. 4? I thought I have 6 questions. The heck. It's okay lah. 4.4 lah. Hey, I'm going to trademark that name. I'm going to trademark that name. I almost actually wrote Satan Claus pulang. It's Diablo 2. Alhamdulillah, no one picked Satan 2. Seriously, I would really like to know how the heck did you guys. Alright, the answer is. Oh, so close. So Yen. So who is Yen? Siapa? Online. Alright. Okay. So congratulations, Yen. So Yen, please do drop by your. Okay. How does he contact us?
I think she was one of the winners myself first game. Just DM me.
Okay, so Yen, thank you. Please just DM
Izzuddin in the baby platform.
Yep. Okay, so I hope, yep. All right, thank you so much, everyone. So thank you for attending. Thank you for those who are online joining as well. Again, so if you have any question, my phone number was there today. If any questions or anything after this session, you just want to reach out and talk, by all means, reach out and contact me. I'll be happy to have the discussion. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. Until next time. Ciao. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So how do I get out? Oh, just close the tab. Okay. Okay. Closing the tab in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.